Hey there! Welcome back to our channel, Finance Experts. Are you a person who is always interested in spending all of your earnings or spending more than your earnings? Then this video will definitely show you the correct path and guide you to save some cash for further usage. There are many ways that you can save your extra earnings and even achieve large financial achievements for your expectation. These valuable tips will always make you strong and independent in order to face any economic crisis without much pressure. So, it is advisable to watch this video till the end to get the best understanding of saving money. Saving funds may not seem possible when you're living on a budget that's tight, but it might not be as difficult as you think to save when the cash balance is limited. Sometimes little lifestyle modifications might be beneficial. Subsequently, if you are on the hunt for strategies that save money on a budget that's tight, know that it's a great deal and simpler than you think. You will simply need to give it a small effort. The number of funds you could conserve with the above recommendations may astound you. So, with this simple understanding, let us step to the best part of the video on what are the most powerful tips and tricks to save money. Tip number 1. Spend less on groceries by using creative methods. Ensure that you attend food shopping with a list of what you want to succeed. By doing this, you may stay on schedule as well as become less inclined to break away from your buying goals. Additionally, you need to assess items on your wish list before you buy. Also, think about purchasing generic or store brand products for some things, as it usually isn't much of a distinction between brand name or generic products for many commodities. Tip 2 is attempt to pay off your debt. Credit card debt has an excessive interest rate which could affect your monthly income. If you have outstanding balances on the cards you use, you might be shocked by the quantity of interest you spend on a monthly basis. By taking action and paying off your credit card debt as fast as possible, you'll be able to fit in more spending into your financial plan and perform better with it. Eliminating your debt is a vital first step if you would like to become more comfortable and start saving. The next step is to find an approach to reduce major expenses. Examine the major expenditures in your entire budget. Is the loan on your car too high? Can you discover a nicer, more affordable area where you can reside? Would you like to share housing with others to reduce your rent? These alternatives could end up being your final ones as you explore methods to raise your savings account. Nevertheless, could truly help anyone save a significant sum of the expenses you incur in every month. It is going to be simpler to stay within your financial capabilities if you maintain these prices as reasonably as possible. Fourth tip will be quit up with unimportant purchases. Place your wants aside and differentiate them from the rest of the things you need. You're going to be surprised by the quantity of money you may save by making just the purchases that are truly necessary. Even though you do not much consider, you might have been spending a severe amount of income on not very important products which will largely damage your savings balance. You'll have the chance to improve your awareness of your spending with this activity, which can also help you when setting budget objectives. The next tip will be to review your budget regularly. Ideally, you might have already established your financial goals by this point. However, it is not an indication that you should disregard it or discontinue giving it any thought at all. The best advice is to go through your budget at least twice a month, taking some time to evaluate your budget. Verify that you're currently on top to achieve your savings and expenditure objectives. Consider how you might reduce that excess expenditure. When you are strapped for cash, it is crucial to often check your budget. Make promises to yourself such as, I'm going to buy a house in cash in 5 years. I'm planning to pay off my debt in the upcoming 6-month period. Your objectives should encourage excellence. When money is a bit tight, they need to motivate you to keep going. These objectives should also prevent you from making unnecessary purchases, along with doing any extra actions that might put you one step closer to reaching your objectives. Set attainable, interesting goals instead of wasting your life. Using finances as an instrument lets you focus on a project that fascinates you. Tip number 6 is to track your expenditures. Begin by keeping note of every penny you spend if you're experiencing trouble setting up a financial plan or establishing savings. If you want to keep track of how much you spend and emotions that result in making purchases, try maintaining an expenditure notebook. Finding areas to cut back on spending is simpler if you're aware of how your cash is being used. One of the most straightforward ways in order to save funds on a limited budget is to keep track of all your expenditures. Seventh tip will be setting up targets. Setting up objectives is represented as one of the most successful strategies to keep oneself motivated. Attempt to save income every single time you're doing a thing you're looking to cut out of your financial plan, and attempt to save a certain sum every single month. The eighth tip is to reduce the usage of credit cards. One of the most detrimental things that you're able to do whenever you're working on a limited budget is to confuse your finances. In addition, everything becomes more challenging depending on how many cards you utilize. Instead, attempt to keep your finances simpler by simply making transactions through your debit card or cash balances. Employing a debit card not merely makes things simple, yet also removes the risk of accruing interest. Additionally, since you just need to log into one account in order to view all of your transactions, monitoring how much you have spent is made simple. The next tip is to automate the handling of your cash. Some of the most simplest methods to save money whenever you have a limited budget are to automate your financial transactions. In the beginning, program an amount specifically for savings to be delivered automatically to your savings account. As an example, $500 every week or approximately 10% of your income. As the next step, set up automated bill payments for your bills. Budgeting well requires automating the expenses you incur. You avoid incurring penalty fees by not paying your invoices after the due date. Finally, the 10th tip we'll recommend to you is to use budgeting software to save cash as well as stick to a very strict budget. Once again, it's crucial to constantly assess your financial position. However, with the tight work schedules and other necessary daily activities, budgeting will be a bit difficult. As a result, you must also try to make it simpler to manage a limited budget and still have a healthy savings balance. Since income is tight, using a budgeting tool will assist you in how to keep on staying on top of your expenses and discover additional ways to save. By doing so, we may find easier and more effective strategies to reduce spending and increase our savings. Do you know? These savings we do today will be a very large strength to us in the future, so don't hesitate to save. Start saving as soon as possible. Do you have an extremely tight budget? Explore these best strategies to save money. These are numerous strategies to save costs when you are on a limited budget. By sticking to these tips and tricks, you are not required to deprive yourself to increase your savings. Try to identify at least a few subscriptions as well as spending patterns you can immediately cut from your budget. If you're pondering the way to save cash right now, these 10 suggestions are a wonderful place to start, no matter whether you only choose a few of them. Stay energized to achieve your financial objectives by listening to our YouTube channel. We hope that all our audience has received a very good understanding of how to save money on a tight budget, the importance of saving, as well as the most important tips and tricks that you can use to have a successful and healthy savings in your account. Thanks for being to the end of the video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and tell us what you think about this video below in the comment section. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.